Jobber Nation, welcome to another episode of the JTP Lounge. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mrblacc. And we got a very special guest with us that, we going
Hey,
viral and shit, like
I mean,
superstar
just a
in the
little bit.
making.
I received that in the making. I'm with it.
But
Yeah.
before we do have our guest introduce himself, I want to thank Billy Dixon for coming on the last JTP Lounge before his Paris is Bumping show, which we had an
Fire,
absolute blast at.
fire,
When I tell you, it's
fire.
probably one of the best shows I've been to,
The gays know how to throw a party, B.
and that's a
Son,
fact.
son.
It is a fact. Like I had to be like, yo, I gotta get my ballroom music up. Like it's crazy.
That
But wanted to
audience,
shout out,
amazing, amazing
and they
audience.
showed up.
Wow.
Pride. See what I did there?
I seen some clips. That's what y'all posted on the stories.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was wild. That's wild.
not everybody could go, but we
Yeah,
we had a good time, and we
that's
sponsored,
dope.
so it was really good.
Oh,
But
nice.
enough about that. We got our special guest. So, gentlemen, t- tell the viewers and listeners who you are. That's
You
you.
said gentlemen. You
You're
said
right. My
gentlemen.
bad.
Oh,
Well, they
yeah.
already know y'all two.
Rewind.
Oh,
Gentlemen,
okay. Well,
sir.
my name is Tchaositself. I spell it Tchaositself. The T is silent like the D in Django, and I just like how it looks. You know what I mean? So I put the T in front of it, and when you type it in on Google, you just find me. So it works out. So I do poetry. I mean, I'm a retired but trying to be unretired rapper, and I do voiceover work too. So all that,
Wait,
anything with
why
a
are you trying to
microphone.
be a retired rapper though?
I mean, because I used to rap before I did poetry, but then I did poetry, but now I'm falling back in love with music, so I'm trying to get back into it. But
Is it
waiting for the
spoken
right
word
time.
or is it poetry?
It's spoken word. I say spoken word. I
Oh,
call it
okay.
poetry, but like the method is spoken word because I don't really write anything that you can read. Like my poetry doesn't translate being read. So I like to be in front of the stage, in front of the microphone, in front of people, and just saying it to them because I like to rhyme. So it's all that's in there.
Okay.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
So,
mentioned that you do voiceover work. What are some of the works that we could see to see a voiceover work? Wow, that'd be crazy.
There's a I got what you're saying though. There's a company I work with called Command Grab ENT. It's Command
Mm-hmm.
Grab underscore ENT on Instagram. The guy that runs it, Gary, what he does, he takes like manga and he takes the voices that we do, puts them over it, then he like edits it almost like a motion comic. So he's taking a lot of young black artists' work and just like transforming it into like motion comics. And we do the voices for it. So which we're trying to come up in a game like that.
So is it on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. It's more so on Instagram, but YouTube is weird, man. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to get views for real. But all of it's on Instagram though. Command Grab ENT.
Command grab ENT. Okay.
Yeah.
Command grab.
so let's talk about the wrestling part first.
Okay.
Yes.
Like,
Okay.
how long have you been a fan? Like, what does wrestling mean to you? Let's start from there, and then we'll go through your journey.
I've been a fan for almost all my life, like for real, like from WWF to like ECW, a little bit of WCW, but like to TNA, to Ring of Honor, to CZW a little bit, like PWG, like my whole life has just been wrapped around wrestling in some shape, form, or fashion. And like it's very important to me. Like it help, like it's a good way to wind down and just watch stuff. If I'm feeling like down, I watch a good wrestling match. It's like, all right, I can focus on something else, and this is kind of cool. So like even to like video games, like wrestling has just been a part of my life for my whole life for real.
So I got you this. What's your favorite wrestling video game? Like top
My
five.
favorite, all right, top five, no particular order.
Hmm.
King of Coliseum 2,
On
which
64?
nah, it was on PlayStation 2. It was a Japanese game. Me and my friends got a Japanese PlayStation just to play it. It had so many moves. And even back then, it had people like Samoa Joe, low key CW Anderson, along with like New Japan people on it. It's amazing. I wish they bring it back. So King Coliseum 2. I mean, everybody says No Mercy, so I'll say No Mercy. I
No
actually
Mercy
like
wasn't that good though.
You don't think so? You don't think?
No
You don't
Mercy
think the
is
whole?
overrated.
Really?
And when are the streets are gonna admit it though?
That's crazy. So you like the WWE 2000 or Revenge, or you just don't like that whole system, that
That
acting
whole system
system?
was that whole system wasn't even that whole system was overly complicated. Like the best system was the
Uh,
SmackDown and the SmackDown versus Raw system.
yeah, it's more arcadey and accessible. I get it. I get it. I like slightly a little more realism and like simulation. That's why I like King of Coliseum too. Because back then you had to breathe. Like there was a breathe button, so you won't like burn yourself out. Like it was super deep. They should bring it back. But yeah, SmackDown versus Raw, No Mercy, King of Coliseum too. I like WWE All Stars. If you remember that the arcade game way back in the day,
Shoot, yes,
dog,
it was.
the way they did like high fly moves, like technical wrestlers, like Mr. Perfect, you could like link moves over and over again. I mean, also, random. I'm like talking a lot, but fun fact: I won a wrestling tournament in Baltimore. Right, there was a wrestling promotion started by Ruckus from Blackout called RCW, and he did a tournament with WWE All Stars. I won the whole tournament. They gave me a belt. They presented to me in the ring. I got to cut a promo like that. It was one of the best moments of my life, like for real. That's how much wrestling was like in my life. But yeah, I think that was 4 wrestling games.
It was definitely for
Oh,
original.
that was for
But you can say more.
Yeah.
I like I would say Fire Pro. I do Fire Pro, the latest Fire Pro, because it's super nerdy.
No,
There's some bunch of stuff.
no.
I hate. No, I'm saying yo. No, okay, because like I can't pick one SmackDown game. Like Here Comes the Pain and like SmackDown versus Raw and SmackDown 2. I can't pick. I gotta pick that as like a franchise.
But look at like so the reason why I say this, like
Uh,
No Mercy was great. It was all like everyone was going that hard for this shit, right?
uh,
Graphics were trash.
it was N64. It was like top of the line back then.
But why did PlayStation have better? Why did SmackDown have better graphics?
Because
That means
cartridges
it-
not produce good graphics. We all know this.
exactly.
Yeah, but the graphics
Exactly.
were trash on N64.
Oh my! Listen, man. The reason why that universe is so legendary is because it had blood, and the fact that the
Mhm.
branching storylines. The storyline was
Ooh.
crazy. Like you could,
Yeah.
but yo, like the storyline was crazy. The moves, yes, it was a little bit complicated. It was easy to pick up. Like you had to spend time with the game. And I think the only thing that was
Overrated, be over.
He had back and forth matches, like Creator Wrestler. They kind of started that whole wave.
I will give you that one. I will give you that one.
Uh,
But I think it's overly hyped though. These streets be overly hyping shit though.
that's a hot take. I've never heard that.
I mean,
Of course you
So
never
you,
heard.
you don't like what Kenny and them trying to do with AEW, bringing that whole feel back?
That's because they're fucking marks, bro. Like everybody else.
I mean, if everybody had an opportunity to do their own video game, I think you would do it.
No, I'm talking about them using basically like using the same engine as No Mercy.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no. It's not the same engine, No Mercy. It's the
it's not?
It's the Here Comes the Pain engine.
Oh, word.
See?
Okay, all right, okay, all right. It Come to Pain was classic, like classic. Even that roster, man.
Ooh,
Jeez.
Ultimo, Brock, and Goldberg,
Yeah.
and The Rock.
Yeah,
Billy,
we'll never see that again. Even we can't see that again. Like that's yeah.
You had Howard Rock. The only SmackDown game was on the Hollywood Rock with the tack.
Yeah, with the vest. Yeah, like
Goldberg beat him the month after he beat Austin for the first time. Yeah, that's great.
that's still a classic Rock. Like him to turn heel like that, and people say he's Hollywood, and he just legit just embrace it. Like that's amazing.
And he turned right into. He had a heel turn right in the ring. You want me to be a bad
Yeah.
guy? Only The Rock can get away with stuff like that, man. Only The Rock.
Exactly.
So all right, so we got your video game top 5. So now you gotta transition to Now we talking to my world because I don't do video game shit. They do.
Okay.
Top
Don't
5
say
wrestlers
don't
of
say
all
video
time.
game shit like that.
It
Damn.
is. I'm saying you
Nah,
just
rude.
said No Mercy wasn't shit, so I can say
I didn't say it wasn't shit. I
It
said it was overrated.
shit.
I didn't say it wasn't shit.
Overrated.
I mean, that is a difference.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. It's a huge
Well, you
difference.
shitted on No Mercy.
I didn't shit on it. I just said it's overrated.
Overrated. Well, anyway, top 5 wrestlers of all time.
Top 5 wrestlers of all time. AJ Styles is the GOAT. Like, he's number one. Everybody else is in no particular order. AJ Styles is the GOAT. Shawn Michaels is on the top 5.
Wait, is it before or after Christ?
Now both. Like that, like even the transition when he came back and he was like slimmed down Shawn Michaels without the alleged enhancements. Like he was still putting on classics. Like still in the show.
Bro, Shawn Michaels had a perfect career.
Yeah. I mean, minus that little bit of Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
talk
That's
about
okay.
that didn't happen. I forgot. Yeah, that didn't happen.
It wasn't on American soil, so that doesn't count.
Yeah.
You're right. That's American soil.
No, wait. Hold on. Next question. Does it count when British Bulldog beat Bret Hart in Europe for the European champion? You said that doesn't count. It was not on US soil.
No, because Saudi Arabia is a different world.
It's not canon.
It's not canon. It's not canon.
Okay.
I'm with that.
All right, so you said AJ Styles, HBK.
AJ Styles, HBK. Amazing Red, because he just invented so many moves. Like he fathered the whole
person outside of Sir Wilkins, who is a little biased because he does train at the school. You are the only person to mention Amazing Red, though.
Actually, like you'd be surprised. A lot of
that we've interviewed. He's the only person outside of this one over here that loves.
I'm trying to get that.
His DNA is in everything, though. Shawn Michaels is literally in modern day wrestling.
The super kick, the code red, the infrared. Like Amazing Red did stuff back in early 2000s that they're doing today. Like that's wild, son. I'm glad they still call it the code red on WWE though, because they was trying to play it for a minute.
I know. Me and Ian was trying to call it the cold blue. Sit down. She try to make it hers. You know what I mean? I'll allow it. Because it's still kind of playing homage, but she's changed it to her colors. You know what I mean? I'm with it. Nah.
When they call it like a sunset flip power bomb, like nah. Cold red.
All right, so red, and then who else? You got what? 2 more.
Ricochet. I love high flyers. Like
I see that.
King Ricochet.
Rico
Oh my god.
Is your number 4.
Yes. Like granted his WWE run is all right, okay. You should have not re-signed that deal. But like his stuff in PWG, his stuff in Dragon's Gate, his stuff in even stuff in Chikara is like he be a Lucha Underground Puma. Like, nah, he's one of the best, like consistently. He's like one of 3 that can do double rotation moonsault. Like you have to like respect that.
You know what it is? You mentioned the him re-signed to WWE. That nigga doesn't want to get hurt anymore.
And I believe that because he said, I'm not doing the double rotation moonsault again because it hurts, y'all. Like, I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah, because, like a lot of people go there and it's like, yo, I don't want to put my body through that shit anymore. Because he has mad injuries low-key.
Word?
Yeah, wow. He said his his body hurts. And he had to tone it down because of when he got to the E, because he can't you can't do that day in, day out. Like, have you seen Will Ospreay? That's why Will Ospreay's like basically like done.
That's my man. Oh, and look, I'm gonna flex a little bit because like Will Ospreay messaged me about my poem and it made my day, son.
Really?
Like he messaged me, told me it was dope. He shared like a story about his father at the same time. Like I was marking out, but I tried to play cool.
Speaking of the poem, who did like any other people reply, tweet, or like shared a poem that that were like superstars?
Oh yeah. Xavier Woods messaged me about it too. Like he said it was though he told me that Sheldon Benjamin showed him. So I was like, yo, this thing is going around the locker room. So it's like super dope. I seen Ortiz for
Pride and
Ortiz
Quality.
AEW. Yeah, he actually put it on his page. So I was like,
I peeped that.
yo,
Yeah.
it's and that blew up over there. They got like 22,000 views. Like I'm just like sucking it. So I'm like screenshotting all the numbers. I'm gonna remember this for the rest of my life. But like I seen Austin Aries comment. I seen like Juventud Guerrera. I seen I don't know if y'all into battle rap, but there's a battle rapper named A Ward.
I know who he is.
He is a beast. He actually messaged me and like he just like he gave me like a voice message and told me how beautifully it was written. He noticed how I schemed at the end and showed all the emotions. And like for him to be such a dope battle rapper and his pen is just amazing to like tell me that I'm nice. Like, yeah, I was good off all that. So like those three, those four, it's amazing.
Can you talk about
number 5? Let him finish one thing. Go to the next thing.
All right, number 5. Low key. I'm a big low key fan. Like,
well, it makes sense that you're a low key fan
because you like Amazing Red and all the guys you like.
And you like
like that whole
Red, come on.
The whole early X Division. That's what got me back into wrestling. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm mad he burned so many bridges and I can't see him like I want to see him, but like low key, like even him, like a lot of people probably know but don't know, but like Finn Balor doing a double stump and a shotgun drop kick, low key was doing that back in like 05. You know what I mean? But you know,
I've been saying this. nigga Finn Balor stole low key's complete moveset.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, they gotta put like some respect on low key's name. Granted, I remember I saw you. I probably was like, he can't talk. He can't talk in the ring.
No, he can't. He can't talk shit.
The size of the fighter bring. Like it's hard. Like, I still love how he talk though. But like I can't watch him do like a full 10-minute promo. Like you're gonna
it throws you off because like when he's talking, he's so small. You like what the hell?
It's hilarious though. Well, yeah. Low key, AJ Styles, low key, HBK, Ricochet, Mason Red. That's fine.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Dang, like
that's low key would have been a star if he didn't get if low key didn't get Loki's way.
Exactly.
Low key screwed.
Exactly. He really did. He really did. I remember. I remember back in New Japan. I was like, I used to be on Twitter, but I don't really be on Twitter like that at all. But I remember he kind of went on New Japan for not having like health care. Like he just put them all the way out there and burned that bridge. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
like this.
So the story behind him in New Japan is that he don't listen. And they had told him to like, yo, because you know his he has that hitman look now.
Yeah.
He had so supposedly he had started it in
with the suit and all. Yeah. Oh, he started it there. Okay. And
New Japan was like, nah, you can't be wearing that. And Loki said, nah, I will be wearing that. And then he went out and wore it. And then New Japan's like, my nigga, this is not what you do here. What are you doing? And that's why they had the issues. And then he obviously, him being low key, he just started like just going off on them. But I heard that was the reason why him and New Japan had to break, because they were like, this isn't our culture over here. You have to wear like tights, not clothes, like Russell.
That makes a lot more low key sense than like him saying they don't have healthcare.
I see what you did there, dog. I see what you did there.
So talk about your ROH days with your ROH and the Snapmare.
Oh, okay, all right. So back in the day, me and my friends would go to the ROH shows and indie shows, and we're loud, like people know that we're there. And then one day I was like, you know what? I just want to size a certain move. Y'all from New York, size mean like overhype. So I want to like overhype a certain move. Like, what could it be? I'm not gonna overhype a chop. Everybody overhypes a chop. I'm overhype a snap man. All right. So every time somebody did a snapmare, I would just like stand up and do all this crazy stuff. And people was like, yo, what is he on? Like, whose mask is this? But I kept going. And I would count snapmares too. So like throughout the night, I'd be like 1 and then 2, like we're at 15 snapmares. So over the shows, the crowd got into it. So like when you come to Baltimore and you do a snapmare, it was to the point that the crowd would go crazy for it. I drew up signs, so I would have it in the crowd. I would like hold it up and everything. Like it became a thing, but it came like so crazy that the wrestlers almost like turned spots into like snapmares. Like there's a there's a video on my Instagram with it was like Kenny King and Cole Cabana and the Nassus. And then like their whole match was they was trying to get each other to snapmare, but he was like get out of it. Like Kenny King tried to take my sign and all that stuff. And like another time, like Jerry Lynn and Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, they had a championship match, and the whole thing was like just a bunch of snapmares. Like they did like a super snapmare off the top rope. The crowd was going crazy, son. Like it was just big. So like I took a lot. I got a lot of pictures with wrestlers with snapmares. I'm gonna be posting them like Throwback Thursday to stretch them out. But like that's another one of my favorite wrestling times because like it just got over, and then like they just stopped coming to Baltimore, so it just stopped.
Wow.
Can you go into because I know Baltimore is like low key the home of ROH. Yes or no? Am I?
No, Philly is more the home of RH, but then I mean right now Baltimore is they kind of like
Sinclair that owns ROH is based out of Baltimore, so that's why for the most part people get have the illusion that ROH home is Baltimore, but they do probably more shows like and their tapings that they were doing during the pandemic, they were all in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So the reason why I asked is because I'm assuming a lot of ROH shows have gone there. You've been to a lot of ROH shows, and you've seen the progression of ROH, the peak, the lows, the peaks again, the peaks.
Yeah.
Like, can you kind of like talk a little bit about that from a fan's point of view? Because there was one time like ROH was like the shit. It was like the most underground loving thing. Like people were sharing tapes of ROH matches of like CM Punk versus Samoa Joe, like Danielson, all those matches, and then it goes up. Then WWE kind of takes them all in. Then the Elite comes in, brings it back up. So can you kind of like talk a little bit about it for being such a Ring of Honor fan for so long and seeing the progressions over the years?
From a fan perspective, like that for me, it introduced me into independent wrestling because like a lot of people, all we knew was WWE, WCW, maybe a little bit ECW, but like independent wrestling, that small intimate setting, and it was like actual athletes on it. So like the whole low key Xavier, Samoa Joe, Austin Aries era with that just wrestling. Like they were the first people to put on an hour, maybe not the first, but like they put on like hour-long matches and the crowd was like totally into it. And that was then I learned about like bookers at that point because Gabe Sapolsky was doing it up until I want to say 2006, 2007. But like and how he book shows and how you bring in international talent because watching ROH got me into Dragon's Gate. And then watching ROH got me into 0-1 for like a little bit. But like all these Japanese promotions. A lot of people hate on him because he will put the Japanese talent over his own talent, but that's like a whole nother conversation. But like after like the Gabe era, when they got on like I don't think it was Sinclair, but when they got on TV, they just lost that kind of scene. I think Delirious was booking at the time. And I mean he's a good character, but I don't think he knew what he was doing with the promotion for real. So, but it still had the wrestlers at the time. So like the Briscoes was still there. Briscoes was my favorite tag team like ever. But
so it's funny you say that because in preparing for going to the show, I had posted in our Facebook group. I said, JR had said the Young Bucks were the best tag team in professional wrestling. And then WWE did their top 50 and said New Day were the best tag team that they had. And I questioned it to the group. I said, it's interesting how New Day was in the conversation, Bucks were in the conversation, but the Briscoes, who have been wrestling for almost over 20 years, and the 11-time ROH Tag Team Champions are not in that conversation. And I said, why is that? Because it was like...
Well, the Briscoes aren't mainstream.
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to.
they stayed in ROH. They had their little stint in New Japan, but they never traveled like the Bucks did. The Bucks was everywhere, and a lot more eyes saw them. Even like, I mean, of course, they was on like TNA for a little bit, but they went back to ROH and the PWG. They went everywhere. The Briscoes is stayed ROH forever, which is the reason why I hate them. Because like, yo, like I get it. I get y'all. I mean, y'all got chicken farm, y'all got money, y'all don't need none of that. But like, wrestle different people. Y'all beat everybody for the past 20 years. But that's a personal thing. But I love the Briscoes. But that's the reason why people don't bring them into conversation, because you can only see them in one place with these sets of people. It's not much to compare.
They wrestled in other places, but it's like promotion smaller than ROH. Like I think
like
they did CZW.
Yeah, they was in with that promotion RCW in Baltimore. They wrestled there, and it was a tag team champs for like a year. They had like a whole little thing. But it's like you wrestling in front of like people in Baltimore that's like less than 100 people. We want to see you like against other places, you know? I don't know. They just need to be in more places, and that's kind of what's holding them back from people recognizing them being for the best.
But do you think their style and how they are would fit in other places? Because I don't.
Yeah,
I think for certain talent, a certain place that they kind of curated and created as their own. And I think that's kind of a more reason why they decided to stay at ROH. But I mean, the gimmick can go anywhere, but I just feel like the grittiness, how they are, how they talk, how they, just overall, that might not always translate in other places.
So what's the difference between them and the Good Brothers? The Good Brothers are literally perverts. Come on, or like do that. What's his name? Joey Ryan, freaking like dick sucking everybody.
Oh, but Joey Ryan saved. You ain't see the picture?
No, I think got baptized.
Listen,
hey, word. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm with it.
What you said? Joey Ryan got baptized?
Yeah.
So he went from being a pervert to getting baptized. You know what? Jesus.
I mean, that's how God works.
All the sins in the water.
Jesus saves everyone.
Bless me, Jesus. But yes, if they have a whole bunch of in wrestling, the Good Brothers are basically perverts. Come on. The Briscoes, everybody want to wrestle them.
But like, they're perverts low key in real life.
Like, but the thing is, was
they perverts in Japan for real? Like, was they really hardcore, just like that in Japan?
It wasn't.
But
I think they adapt a little bit.
But the thing is, their grittiness is a lot like the Usos, but the Usos are a little bit more polished.
I can see that.
Thank you.
It's very
that's
similar.
The only other tag team that, if anything, I would ever do would be Briscoes versus Usos.
But the thing about it, you take away you kind of no, but the thing about it, you diminish how good the Briscoes are.
Elaborate.
Because the Briscoes can wrestle anybody. Their style, they can do high flying stuff. They can brawl. They're actually really, really good. Like
absolutely.
They can fit anywhere. I think we're not giving them enough credit right now because they're always in ROH. So it's like, oh, can it really fit somewhere else? But they turned down WWE.
I heard it was the other way around. They said it wasn't aesthetically pleasing with that promo they did back in the day.
Because I don't know, he said it in a promo when the Bristol said it in a promo, and he turned down money. I don't know if he was talking shit, but maybe.
But they don't care about the money.
Yeah,
but the thing is, I would if I'm AEW, I would try to sign them.
I think they did. The Briscoe signed like 5-year deals. They're going to be there forever. Like always locks them down.
But I would do. I don't know. AEW probably has a bad relationship with ROH, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But
really? Oh, I thought the Forbidden Door was still open. I wanted to be
because open. if I'm AEW, I would have the Bucks wrestle the Briscoes.
Yeah, they put on some good matches too.
Because that's smart though, because basically crossover, because it gets to the Briscoes in a more of a mainstream audience.
Yeah,
and
but
the
they
Bucks
don't even know what crossover is over there.
well, so let me finish. But right now we're fantasy booking, so stop bringing the 440. You know, we talk about this. So
no, I'm just saying. I'm just being real. Like they don't. Their idea of partnership is 80-20.
Janelle, stop stop breaking my football. All right, please. So like I was saying before, it's a good crossover success for the Briscoes because they like the young bucks know their style. The young bucks are able to bring out certain stuff like, yo, bro, I got you, blah 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 blah, this, that, and third. So I think that would be
Mm,
very good for not only for the Briscoes, for ROH too, because again, not a lot of people know the Briscoes unless to me, it's just like the Briscoes are your favorite tag team. It's just like comparing to like somebody from what's his name? Battle rap. He's famous for like just another lost nigga.
Loaded Lux
Loaded
or
Lux.
Calico. Oh yeah, yeah.
Loaded Lux.
Okay.
Loaded Lux, you have to be a hardcore rap fan to know who Loaded Lux is. So if Loaded Lux
Mm,
came on a DMX track, like, oh yeah, you're like, oh, I know who Loaded Lux is. So I think
yeah,
I think I think it's good for both parties. The Young Bucks, because Young Bucks they want another classic good match, and the Briscoes to be on mainstream.
yeah,
Next thing you know, it's be
yeah.
high demand. Oh, where can I find them? Even the Ring of Honor style.
Exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think it's good.
No, that's good. I'm with
They
it.
might be not aesthetically pleasing because they ain't pretty motherfuckers.
Yo,
Oh no,
listen,
because one,
I don't
mind you,
care
they all
how
got
pretty
they
you
got
are.
money, but one refused. Mark refused to get his
Mark.
t-shirts.
I remember he tried to, like he got partials at one time, but then like he just like, nah, I don't want to do it no more. But I heard he like and out in the world he'll like have him in, but like when he come out to the ring, he just take him out. But like why not get him fixed like permanently? That's his style. They from Sandy Fork, Delaware, son. Like that's super
Yo, it
country.
sound wild country. That's what throws me off. Like I'm like, you would think
Yo,
they were from like the Carolinas or they were from Alabama.
exactly.
Like you would think they are from the South. They are from Sandy Hook, Delaware. They are by the
it's
outlets. What the fuck?
it's they. I'm telling you, it's country down Delaware. Like some parts is like you might think you in South Carolina.
That's
Like
wild.
yeah, yeah.
So how
So
were you able to combine your world of music and rap and spoken word with wrestling? Like, where did that kind of culminate for you?
Well, with the music thing and then poetry, I love rhyming. So a lot of poets you might hear don't really rhyme, but like if you listen to my stuff, it rhymes like all the way because in a sense I'm like still rapping. So for a while, I was just doing poetry from my head. I was being creative. Nothing was really real. If it was some real stuff in it, I would switch it around so you don't really know what it's exactly about. It was like an entertainment. I was telling like a story. So this is the first time I actually did something very vulnerable because I did like wrestling freestyles before, but I wanted to implement wrestling in a sense in a poetry. This is my first time. It was like a real conversation that really happened. I wanted to write a poem about it, and I never wrote a poem about my father before too. So I was like, let me just do both at the same time. It kind of came together. So all of that just combined in this one poem. Like this year, me deciding to be vulnerable and me talking about wrestling, and like it just came together. And I'm glad it worked because it was scary. Like I get scared every time I perform that
so
poem.
let me ask you a question.
It's
My bad. Were you finished? My bad, dogs.
not yeah, go ahead, not good, good.
Who filmed it? Like who filmed the initial video that went everywhere?
So it was a combination of three people, right? So the poetry show I was at it's Pure Poetry DC in DC. Orville the poet hosted it, and it was their 9 year anniversary. So like, and it was like their first show back from the pandemic. So my name, I built up my name at that event, like Pure Poetry. I've been going there for like 4 years.
Mm.
So people come there and it was like, yo, I'm gonna record your poem and I'm gonna send it to you. And like three people said that. So I was like, yo, all right, I want to post this poem, but let me just like splice together cuts from all these places and see how it comes out. And, like it looks like a TV show. Got different angles and everything. So three people recorded it, sent it to me, and I put it together, and it worked.
So you really had a show you're trying to play you about your wrestling though?
Yeah, like I was
Elaborate on
at
that story.
all right. So it was I was at another poetry spot. We got something in the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia, called Bus Boys and Poets,
Yes,
and
one of the best brunches, food,
yeah,
drinks,
you know,
on
yeah,
point.
it's dope. It's a dope spot.
I had to
Like
put
a
that on the
poetry
list
stop
because
is a dope spot.
I've been there
Yeah,
down in DC.
I heard the drinks is crazy too. They got something called DC tap water, which is fire, but I don't know nothing about that. But I was at Busboys and Poets, and I was talking to another poet, and like you know that feeling when you out and about and you find someone that likes wrestling that you didn't know like wrestling. It's like, oh, that's what's up. You have that little. So we was having that thing. I didn't know he even watched wrestling, and this girl come by. You know, the no wrestling is fake, right? I was like, what are you doing? Like, we ain't even bringing it to the conversation. What are you talking about? And I had that happen so many times. So I combined that instance with probably two other instances when a girl would just lump in and just say, you know, wrestling is fake. Like, come on. So what? A lot of stuff you think is fake. They don't take away from that. Like, and it's like, for real, like, what are they trying to prove? Like, what do you want when you do? And be like, oh my gosh, oh no, nah. Like, I don't get the point when people say that.
That happened to me at work. So I had I'm a personal trainer, and one of the she works. So it's a big company we work for. So she was at my gym. And I just finished working out, and I'm eating like my post-workout food, and I think I was catching up on like wrestling news just for the podcast. So I was watching like WrestleMania or like one of those channels. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, I was watching like an old Raw or something when the network was still around, and I'm watching it, and I told these guys about I had like a little kitty bag of like chips from Chipotle because I didn't want the full bag because too much carbs. So I'm fucking with that,
for real.
and I'm dipping my sauce in, and then Shorty comes downstairs and she hears like the mat getting hit, the crowd, and everything like that, and she sees my chips. She's like, "What are you eating?" I was like, "I'm eating like the kitty chips from Chipotle," and she's like, oh, "Okay," and then she's like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "I'm watching wrestling." She's like, "What?" Ew, that shit's not real, right? I was like, "Can you get in the ring? Can you do it?" And then she was like, "Yeah, I can do it." No, you can't. Because that comment you know that you can't do it. So get out of here. Get out of my face.
No, it gets serious.
Yo, for real though. Like they can't do it.
Because I think everybody experiences that, whether it's from a girl, guy, someone random, like whatever it is. But like us as fans, we take that shit so personally. Like I've had people be like, "So you know it's fake?" I'm like, "It's scripted."
You know what I mean?
Just like a fucking movie. Just like TV. Don't do that.
I'm meaner. Right. I just said that it ain't happening. Shut up, Black. You're mean, Black. This, that, and the third. Or like, I said something filed that. Wait a minute. Your husband left you? That was fake love.
Yo.
Wrestling been there for me in many different ways. Come on, man. Right. As a long damn song, you popping No Mercy. You play the song after 500 million times, man. Where like you go with a partner with the book. Come on, dogs. Yeah. Come on, dogs.
They don't know. They don't know. They don't know about that love, man. That love ain't fake. That connection ain't fake.
Come on, man. Who was there for you during the Saturday Night Main Event revamp? Come on, not you, Shorty. Come on, on Saturday Night NBC. Come on, dog.
Think about it. What bothers me is like everybody has something that like they love. That's not the norm or like whatever. And it's like, and I always say this. I was like, I don't care who you are. There was a point in your life you were watching wrestling.
Yeah. Every female I ever dated, they're always talking about I watch wrestling at some point. They say the typical John Cena, Rey Mysterio come out to smack
The Rock.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
Everybody's seen it.
Come on.
That's why they always got something to say about it. They had some love about it. They found out it was scripted and it probably broke their heart. It's okay. You let your heart heal and watch
it was a good 6th grade when the was it behind? It wasn't behind the mat. It was that special where they showed all.
Yeah, we remember that.
All of the behind the scenes of how the moves were done, how wrestling was fake. Oh. So this is like 6th grade. I remember my 6th grade teacher used to tape all WWE pay-per-views for us. So if you couldn't afford the pay-per-view, she'll tape it for you and then she'll give it to you, let you borrow it. And we asked for ECW, but she was like, "That's too much cursing and wild shit on there."
Very responsible bootlegger.
Right? She would tape it for us and she would give it to us. And I remember 6th grade, and then we all were talking about it. I refused to watch it. I was like, "Listen, y'all not ruin this for me." I don't care what you
That's
want
a
to say.
fact.
And I shit you not, up until my freshman year of high school, that's when I accepted that wrestling was fake. Wrestling was scripted or predetermined.
I
I
mean,
like
that's
that.
better
You
than
got to
me.
suspend your belief.
I was ordering pay-per-views without my parentals even knowing. Like I like for like 6 months straight. So like here, like we had like Time Warner because I used to live in Harlem. So Time Warner was provided out Spectrum, but the remote we had was like the DVR one. So it had an ABC. So the B was blue for buy. So I would just keep clicking B every time the WWE had a pay-per-view. So I was like, bye. So then maybe like
Whoa.
6 months passed, and
They
my
look
mom
like Bill.
goes, "So have you been ordering $60 worth of pay-per-views?" And I was just like, "What are you talking about? I thought they were free. Like they were on. Because remember, the first hour back in the day was free.
Oh yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
just like, I thought it was free because it was coming on.
You were such a liar, boy.
And I thought they knew that I was
I know
lying.
you knew. You knew. Yo.
So then she caught on, and then she put the parental controls on the shit.
Smart.
So then I had to ask every time I wanted to order, which she let me do. She just was like, "All you have to do is ask."
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Nah, it really, our childhood was great, but like I always say, like everybody watched it. Every single person you know at one time sat down and watched SmackDown on UPN 9.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
UPN.
Everybody. UPN, yo. Wow.
United.
So
Yeah,
how
the
is
fifth.
the indie scene in the DMV area? Like, I have not been to an indie show in that area as of yet. So tell us a little bit about that scene.
It's a little scarce only because like this area is so close to everything else. Like Philly is like 2 hours. You know what I mean? You can probably go down south for a little bit longer. So like and like RCW back in the day, they started in Baltimore. We have something called Maryland Championship Wrestling, that books people now. But it was just hard to get people because like most of the wrestlers is from like the West Coast. So to convince them to fly across the country for one show and fly back, they wasn't booking a lot of people. But that's why I'm glad like ROH came back down and brought it back. But like most of the time, we just drive to Philly. Like my friends back in the day, we would drive to ROH shows in Philly. We would drive to Evolve shows in Jersey. We would drive to Dragon's Gate shows in Philly. We would just be up there at the arena because that's where all the shows was at. But it was just hard to get a good wrestling promotion in Maryland or DC, Maryland, Virginia because like
Isn't it
nobody wanted to come
MCW
there.
down there? Is it called MCW?
Yeah, MCW, Maryland Championship Wrestling. Yeah, they've been going for a while. Leo Rush, I think
I
Leo
would
Rush
say,
started
isn't
there.
that the school Leo Rush came out of?
Yeah, yeah. Like I seen his farewell match versus Jeff Cobb like a couple of years ago.
Wow.
Ooh.
That was dope. That's the first time I seen both of them live, and I was like, yo. He came out like he went to the back. He put on his like amateur wrestling gear with like the head, the Rick Steiner head thing. Like it was a dope match. It was a dope match.
Nah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. We just got to drive sometimes, most of the time.
I mean, you can always drive. July 31st.
I'm trying to come up there,
Just
man.
gonna
Like,
cheap plug that one. Like,
yeah, y'all. Congratulations, y'all putting on a whole wrestling show.
Oh,
Don't do
That
it.
is wild. That is wild, son. Like y'all booking wrestlers. Y'all got a venue. Y'all. That's inspiring, man. That's inspiring. I really want to make it. I might just like
you know what?
call out
The
sick.
fact that how that you said it like that, like it didn't hit me. Like it probably might hit us when the day comes. You understand? Because right now it's just we didn't see it. Like even though we see it on paper, it didn't hit us. July 1st when the opening match, Saeed versus Casey Navarro. When that happens,
yo, that's a dope first match. That is a dope first match. Saeed is the
video
man.
game. That's
Oh my god, yo,
man.
this man does stuff I've never seen. It's so fluid, like dog. Like for real, like video game for real. Like for real.
Yeah,
And
that's
he
That's
hates
fair.
Shim.
crazy.
And he hates Shim. So even better. You feel me?
Right? That's what's up. That's what's up,
That
man.
matters.
Congrats to y'all.
Thank you, thank you.
But I mean, but I'm just saying, if you decide to, just let us know.
I mean,
Oh,
Shane
I got
Taylor's gonna
you.
be
I
there,
got you.
Shane
Even though
Taylor from
I low
Yeah.
key, I
I'm
low key
saying,
still
Yeah.
bully you.
He shared my video too. Shane Taylor's a man. Shout out Shane Taylor.
shout out to Shane Taylor
You
Production,
got it right.
the masterpiece of
Yeah.
Did
wrestling.
it.
Shout out to him.
Yo, he makes moves, man. He builds himself up, puts
The
himself
masterpiece of
over.
wrestling. The masterpiece of
Like for
wrestling.
real. Yeah. Yeah, that's an accurate description. That's the pure wrestling, man. Yeah.
Ooh, make sure you tell him
Yeah,
that in person.
really do.
Because I think what he's doing, especially for ROH, I think is different. And
Mm.
his thing is just like it's he's awesome, like FUBU, like for us by us.
Yeah.
And and honestly, the crowd just pops. Like hearing the crowd chant STP the other night,
Ooh,
I was just like,
that felt good in the arena,
I
man.
was like,
Like, yo,
that's different. Okay.
yeah.
So now I'm proud of what Shane and them are doing because it definitely is changing the game. And that's why I appreciate literally every person that's dedicating themselves to do the show on the 31st, because like for us, it's just we want to just be able to showcase and put our people on, because that's really what it is at the end of the day,
Mm.
is us just being able to give back to to the wrestling community. It's not even, this stopped being about us a long time ago. So
Yeah.
but
That's
somebody
amazing.
wants to write a poem about Jobbertears and about wrestling and perform it live, I'm just
Ooh,
saying
ooh.
You
that's
throwing it
okay
out there,
too.
Janelle? You throwing it out?
I
You throwing out
mean,
That's
alley you?
okay too.
hey, I could probably throw something together, you know.
I'm just
I got some bars for y'all. I could do a little something.
I'm just saying, and I think that would be dope. That's really how you open the show. Like, remember, like with WrestleMania when they do the montage videos before the start of the show,
Yeah,
and it's either like a legend doing a voiceover or
Yeah.
something.
yeah.
Just gonna put
Nah,
that on the table.
that's dope. That's dope.
Hey,
I
Janelle,
see
you
it
over
on the
here like
table. I can
bugging, you bring back once again,
dig
I know
Janelle.
he was plotting,
it.
because when we met him on Sunday, I was just like, okay, cool. Face the name the face. Cool, hello. And then I was like, oh, we got him on Tuesday? Okay. I'm going to wait until Tuesday because then it's all three of us. And people have a hard time saying no. So.
They do, especially like on the spot live on a podcast with two other people. It was smart.
Right.
That was smart. I like that.
I mean, listen, I'm allowing anyone to call me a bully between now and July 31st because I've bullied tons of people the last few
Oh
weeks.
man.
So,
Hey, that'll be a good idea, man. Okay, so the opener will be him doing his little nice poetry.
Mm.
Then my boy Saeed was a case, man.
Whew.
Dang, man,
Yo,
my head might explode, man. That's too much. Hey,
that's crazy.
just a
That's
little
crazy.
bit. But any last questions, concerns, comments, anything else? What do you think
Mm.
about the current product of wrestling?
facts.
Hmm. I think there's enough wrestling out there to find what you like, which is great. Like
I
it's
like
not
that.
the monopoly. It's not the monopoly anymore. It's not Vince doing whatever he wants. It's like you're not going to go over there because we're only showing town. He's like, but it's WWE.
Yo, his
It's,
voice,
it's
his invitations on point.
I mean, I do voice work. Book me. I could do something for you. But like, so like with WWE, you can watch NXT, you can watch AEW, you can watch Impact, you can watch New Japan. Like, there's something for you to watch out there. So if you love wrestling, I mean, if you love wrestling, there's too much stuff to watch. But you can find something anywhere. Even if like Raw is the worst this week, all right, whatever. I'll watch SmackDown or I'll watch AEW or Impact and stuff. Like you can switch and find whatever you want. I think that's the best thing for wrestling, like variety. Let us pick what we like.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm really loving though?
Mm.
Us black people coming up.
That's a fact.
Hey, like for real,
Okay.
like for
Listen,
real,
when
man.
Raw started with Woods versus Bobby Lashley, I I said
black champion.
Raw
And
Open. With
come
two
on,
legs.
man.
Walking armor.
Like,
Wait. I got one more question.
Dog.
I got one more question for you. You know, my boy, shout out to Dwayne of the Show Off Season podcast. He said this. He wanted to ask you this. If you was to create a poem for a dream promo match, if you was to create a poem for a dream match promo, who would be the wrestlers and why? Like, if you had to make a promo for a match, who would be the wrestlers and why?
Ooh. I like athleticism. I was gonna go like CM Punk versus like Austin, but they can talk way better than me. So there's nothing I can say that's gonna hype them up. You know what I mean?
Yo, my man said they can't outshine me.
at all. Like they're not gonna outpro me and I'm trying to do poetry and trying to rhyme. Like I can't do that. But I would want AJ Styles and HBK, Shawn Michaels. Like if there was some kind of time machine or something to have both of them at their prime, that's a dream match. And I'll throw some like heartbreaks and like their styles of clash, but the spiral will tap off. Like I can like both of them my top favorite, and I always wanted to see them. Y'all remember that fake poster that was going around that they was about to be? I was so mad that it was fake. Like somebody just gave me the dream and woke me up at the same time. Like I wanted them to go one more time, but that's a dream match I would do.
Okay,
that's a good.
That's
what? Why is
AJ's canceled? Why is AJ's canceled? I mean, I don't like to do rumors, but I heard somebody say that before because they said, "Oh, yeah, Jonathan Gresham is one of the greatest technical wrestlers."
Jonathan Gresham proved to me on Sunday.
Yo,
by far the best technical wrestler in professional wrestling today.
By far today, what he did.
No one's touching Jonathan Gresham at all.
I don't think he's ever losing that pure title, and I'm totally okay with it. Beat everybody using the pure rules and the rope. Like he's such a good wrestler.
I had to catch on to after the first rope break. I was like, wait, there's rules to this.
That's the first time I've seen a pure match live, but I missed it because back in the day, like Nigel McGuinness, even Jay Lethal was a pure champion back in the day. Samoa Joe, like they invented a whole Punk, AJ, but you don't talk about AJ because AJ dropped it because Danielson, Dragon, like to have that kind of match, to create a match with rules and have people invested in it was genius, and I'm glad they brought it back. And Jonathan Gresham is the perfect person to have that belt. That match was amazing. I don't even like Mike Bennett, but that was my favorite match on the show. Actually,
it definitely top 3 because I was just but AJ was dropping M-bombs with.
All right, so there's a thing with the Good Brothers Talking Shop podcast. They wasn't filming, but they was about to film. But AJ was like, "Oh yeah, somebody called somebody the N-word," but he actually said it, and they was like, "Yo, we're live." He's like, "Oh," but that's the thing. He wasn't Hogan out here, you know what I mean? But he said it in a sense that it's not.
He was saying it like, "Oh, he heard someone say it."
It wasn't just calling people like that.
But how long ago was that though? Wasn't like super long ago that they ended up digging it up and finding it? Like it wasn't recent though.
Listen, we low key pick and choose our allies, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is.
But the thing about I've heard that he's not as holy as he acts, but I've never heard of him. Yeah, he
I've never heard him say a curse word because he
curses, but
those things. Oh snap! I mean,
he's not like a racist though. Like far.
No, I do not believe he's a racist at all. Not even from Gainesville, Georgia. Nah.
Yeah, come on,
but
yeah. No, I don't believe it. AJ to go, but I don't believe it.
KO, didn't
I need no proof.
Say the N-word too?
No, that was Excalibur.
Yeah,
Excalibur. It was 2 Kevin Owens or something like that.
No, it was two some black guys.
What?
It's a clip. Like he said it with the ER. Like it was like for real on the mic in the crowd.
Wait, was he with his mask on or?
Yeah, he was his mask on. It was like a bit in a match, but like, yo, why even do that? Like that's not. I don't get it. But
Talking about Dwayne Johnson and saying black people are cool. We're calling people the hard R. So it
That
just
is
was
what I
sounding like a
remember.
relay of a message.
oh, okay. I'll get like age. Okay, yeah, he was relaying a message, but you didn't
Once
have to say
again,
the
we pick
word,
and choose our
AJ.
allies. Let's just put that on the table. Because
I
we're not
never.
AJ,
gonna
go.
act like Ric Flair was out here in these streets calling fucking Teddy
Teddy
Long.
Long, man,
Like,
nah,
we just not gonna do that.
like
We
Oh,
pick
no,
and
no,
choose
no.
our
like
allies.
low
But Rick's a
key,
racist.
He's still racist.
Rick, yeah, Rick Flair's a racist.
Let's keep it a buck. It's just that it's not convenient anymore. Nigga, that's why he's
Yeah.
with the Migos.
Once again, pandering.
Yeah, for real.
That is your champion, Janelle, not mine.
What? Who?
Ric Flair, Ric Flair's a champion.
Oh, don't just yeah. Okay, and
Because I'm
so
pretty sure
We
all the
picking
four
to our
horsemen,
allies. That's it.
I'm pretty sure
thank
all
you.
the four horsemen were out here using the hard ER on the back of their.
Man, in the locker room, come on, man. You don't think Arn was?
Nah, man.
I
Like, I
mean,
think
who
Arn was
knows?
that
Who knows?
chill.
No.
He's
I
seen
know
that shit, but you never know. Because all these white wrestlers in the '80s, who knows how they was hazing these black guys in the back?
it was Arn
Like,
and Tully.
Telly looks like the one
Don't
that say it
disrespect Arn
too.
Anderson. Thank
I
you.
don't think Telly doesn't look like it. Like, I think Arn might look a little bit more.
Telly doesn't look like it.
I don't think Telly looks like it.
First of
I
all,
mean, that's
hold on, I'm
me.
gonna
I don't
get
know if he
close.
does.
Telly is more than Arn. Don't do that.
I mean, his daughter. Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Fun fact: we sponsored her 2 years ago at Battle Club. That popped up on my
Oh,
the other day.
oh,
Look how
wow.
Yeah.
went.
And we
Who
got
that
shitted
kid
on
come
because of that.
from? Yeah.
We always get
We
shit
did.
on for certain
Yeah,
things.
we do. You know, like
That's
you know,
okay.
Because
people
we,
hated us.
because I did it, but I posted the real story of what happened because we had like first hand accounts, and
Really?
yeah, so it went against the problem is she said the word. That's just the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. That's just what it is. There's no ways around it.
No,
Right.
like
But
you can't rewind time. You can't be like
the context of what she said it wasn't as bad as people. It wasn't like I'm being a racist. It's just that my boyfriend black. I was going to say the word. That type of thing.
Well, everybody
So
around.
she thought she had a pass, but she
Yeah,
ain't had no pass.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what it was. It wasn't like, hey, I hate black people. It was I take black penis and I can say the word.
Like
Yo, black penis is not a pass. That's a whole nother conversation. Like, just don't say it. I always say like, why do white people want to sound racist if they're not racist? Just don't say the word.
Because
They don't understand.
Because listen, you have to understand. They want to be part of something.
They like to push the envelope, and they like to be like, "Oh, we want to be. We want to make you feel comfortable, so we want to say it too because you say it." And it's just like, no, that's not how that works. But okay,
You know.
And I always explain it to this: you can call your sister a dumbass, but nobody else can.
Yeah, facts.
That's what it is. Even in a playful manner, nobody can call my sister a dumbass, but I can.
Yeah.
I remember because I in college, we're going off mad off subject, but my I have a degree in teaching. So one of my professors was like she was an Indian lady and she thought she was the shit because she did a book with KRS-One, and she was like always like think she was like God's gift to black people, and so we did a class with hip hop and education and how do you implement it into education, whatever. And there was a whole class on using the N-word. I was like, I'm using the N-word until the day I die. I don't give a fuck. She was like, no, you shouldn't. I was like, listen, I am using this word because I can. I can't call you a bitch, but your homegirl can call you a bitch.
Right.
What's the problem? What's the issue?
Solid point. I get it.
So last question before we do, and then you can plug yourself.
Okay.
Where do you see, yourself going within the next year with your, music, with your poetry? Like, what's your ultimate goal with your craft?
Wait. Before you answer that, we ask the question I ask
Okay.
every guest. Top five favorite
Okay.
rappers.
Oh yeah,
Come on.
you
Lupe
started it too, so that's
Fiasco,
a
number one. Like
Nigga
Lupe
Lupe?
Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco.
kick
Like
push, kick push.
Kick
Ghost.
Mary
Push,
Ball? You know, he gets the girl.
Mural. Yes, he gets the girl. People don't know about the Off the Nerds beat. Come on.
Ooh.
Lupe is
That
the
is a
greatest
classic, boy.
rapper
That is a
of
classic.
all time. Like what he
Top
does
10
with metaphors
storytellers, top
and
10 storytellers in the game.
yes,
Who's
absolutely,
that?
absolutely. So
Lupe.
yeah,
Well,
Lupe. I love Eminem because I learned how to rhyme every word with every word by listening to
okay.
Eminem.
Okay.
He's always will be up top. Um, Fonte from Little Brother. He's
Oh,
always
okay.
consistently amazing. Um, ooh, I always think of three. I never think of like the last two. Um, got to throw a group in there. I'm gonna throw a group in there. Bone Thugs and Harmony. I love Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Ooh. Wake up, wake up,
Like
wake up, wake up.
uh, how they would sing, but then rap, and then like I don't know if y'all heard the song Buddha Lovers, but like they did Buddha Lovers and it has no verses. They just spit like 11 hooks. That's how genius they are. Like they just went left from what everyone was rapping about. Definitely Bone Thugs and Harmony. And five, Kendrick Lamar. Because I love storytellers, I love concepts and songs, and he's like one of the best. Like the first song I heard for him was like No Makeup Today. I was like, yo, you talking about this girl putting on makeup to hide the fact she's getting beat? Like that's a poem. You know what I mean? Like that's how I want to write poetry with such a deep message and such a hidden message that you get hooked in, and I change everything about it and like send you a message at the same time.
Come on,
Definitely. So
Diamond
yeah,
Thirds off the
Kendrick.
first album. Come on, Diamond.
Oh man,
Ooh. Damn,
people don't
Taurus.
know Keisha's song from Section 80. Like his storytelling is like top. So I guess I just figured out I like storytellers. My storytellers are my favorite
So,
rappers.
question before you answer the question I asked you before: what's the best
Okay.
storyline in wrestling you felt?
Ooh. I like that
Now or
question
like
right now.
No, just ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like mine's is I tell everyone mine's
mm,
is Kane Undertaker going into WrestleMania 14. That's just
okay.
mine. But that's an
Okay.
example.
I like I like long term storytelling and I knew I love ROH. So I like the storyline with Jimmy Jacobs and Lacey back in the day. So long story short, Lacey was a wrestler, of course. Jenny Jacobs had the biggest crush on her, but she just kept like curving him. So he did everything to fight for her love. He was wrestling like people for her, and then eventually she kind of like fell for him, and they was rocking together. He had like his interest music was like Together We're the Match of the Year, genius. So after they got together, he didn't like her anymore, but she was falling for him. And then as it got better, like kept going, he like the last thing this is like the last thing Gabe supposedly did. Like there was like a shot where Jimmy Jacobs caught Lacey out in the street and he pulled out a knife and he's like, "Yo, is he going to stab her?" He's like, but like Gabe's like, "No, he wasn't going to stab her. He was going to like cut himself because he loved her so much." Like they're back and forth type of thing and intertwined like
That's
It's
toxic.
them
toxic.
wrestling some other people. Like it's crazy. Like there should be a YouTube type of recap of like Lacey and Jimmy Jacobs. It's amazing.
I'm gonna check that out.
Okay.
Probably
Yeah,
is on YouTube. I'm gonna check it out. Good looks
I
though.
hope I hope so. That's dope. That's dope.
So
I
then
love
yes.
it.
So then the final question: where do you see
Uh,
yourself using your craft within the next year?
I see myself traveling the country, traveling the world. Like I want to perform in like big stages. I want to perform at wrestling events. You know what I mean?
Like
I want
Java
to
Slam?
perform, yeah,
Oh,
like Jarvis Land. I
heard
want to
you.
Well,
perform in like arenas. I want to have like, I just want my message to be out. I want to travel and just perform in front of a bunch of people and then like do music at the same time. Like I think Logic at one point when he used to do shows in the area in Maryland, he would for the people that got there super early, he would just do his poetry first for them. And then when it started filling up, he just started doing his music. So I want to like combine both of those, just blow up. You know what I mean? And have it like sustain me for real. And do voice acting on the side too.
Do you have any
Abundance. That's
shows
definitely my
coming
number two.
up?
Yes, I got a show on the 24th of July. It's like Poet Life Fest. It's like a festival, family friendly thing. It's gonna be all day. I got another show August the 8th, which is a Sunday. I'm getting information for that. But yeah, I'm gonna be posting on my Instagram. T Chaos itself is spelled just like that. You can add me everywhere on there. And I guess it segues into the plug. So yeah, there's a there's a there's an album that I did with a wonderful, beautiful, talented young lady named Lonnie Boheme. She did a self-titled album. It's on Spotify everywhere you want to go. It's called Lonnie. Her name is Lonnie Boheme, and it's about her and this relationship that she's trying to get out of, and her going back and forth. And I do 3 poems as her conscience, trying to convince her to do the right thing. So it's a nice little story. Definitely check it out. It's like one of my favorite projects I've been a
You
part
said
of.
Lonnie?
Yeah, Lonnie, Lani, and last name Boheme. It escapes me how to spell it, but yeah, it's on Apple Music, Spotify, all that stuff. It's the first time I did poetry on on an actual project, so that's big for me too.
I'll
She's
check it
amazing.
out, yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Hey, I ain't gonna front. This is one of my favorite interviews, dogs. Like, I love your energy. Like,
thank you.
He
dang, man.
did.
Like,
He's so when you went viral, everybody was like,
first of
who
all, I
is
wanted him.
this man?
It still ain't hit me yet. Yeah.
No. I wanted him when my son Chisel, that's top 5 dark skinned man alive. Next to me. He said it to the page. I was like, oh, I want him, man, on the show because of your passion. Like,
Hey,
yo, made me cry, dog.
A lot of
Made me
people
cry.
tagged us.
thank you, man.
A lot of people
So,
tagged us. On the
oh, for real,
post.
they did. Oh, that's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope. And that's how dope the community is. Like they see something dope, they'll just tell other people. They'll just show them and tag them. And like it, I love how it just like was just shared. Because I didn't expect it, the rest of the community to be like on it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this for the poetry area, people in this area, and they're gonna be cool. But then like, yo, the rest of the community showed up. That was the best feeling. That was the best
That's the
feeling ever.
community is strong.
I mean,
Yeah,
there's power in numbers.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But thank you for joining us on this special episode of the JTP Lounge. It was cool that we kind of met you before the show. That's why I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
worked out perfectly.
I agree.
Once again, go ahead, plug yourself real quick in all your social media stuff.
Oh yeah. On Instagram is Chaos itself, Chaos itself. The T is sounding like the D in Django, but you can follow me there. You can follow me on. I don't got no Twitter, but like I do Instagram, TikTok. You find a little poetry and like haiku on there, and on Xbox and PlayStation because I be playing games for
I
real.
play games, yo.
I be playing games. I
I
be
didn't do it
chilling.
at all.
You know what I mean?
This guy,
But
man.
Same
Like,
name everywhere. Yeah, same name. Everywhere.
thank
You type
you
that in, everything will pop
so
up.
all right, I'm gonna
very much
follow
for
up
joining
Haitian
us this
Network. I got
evening.
you.
I appreciate that. This was fun. Like I always loved y'all energy, and I'm glad I was a part of it. This is cool. This is
You
cool.
watched the show before?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
y'all name is out there in the streets. Like y'all really doing it for real.
I don't know
So I was like,
about
yo,
that.
Jobbertears hit me up. I was like, okay, all right, I gotta get ready.
I don't know why everybody does that though, because we just be like regular. We be like,
All
all right,
right.
cool. But
Nah,
no, thank you for joining us this evening. Once again, Jobber Slam, July 31st, tickets,
Be
yeah.
back in
seats,
Thursday.
things of that nature. You can hit us up personally. Let us know if you guys want to attend. Maybe you might get a poem or two out of somebody. Who knows?
Hey.
But as always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black. Hashtag Black Excellence. Hashtag we are out.